Most people speak before thinking. They react before reflecting. They say whatever comes to mind in the moment without considering whether those words serve them or sabotage them. And then they wonder why their words create problems, why conversations go wrong, why they're misunderstood or dismissed or regretted what they said. The Stoics had a different approach. Before they spoke, they asked themselves 4 specific questions, 4 filters that words had to pass through before being released into the world. And these questions transformed not just their speech, but their entire lives. Today, you learn these 4 questions, and if you actually use them, you'll never speak carelessly again. Before we get to the questions, you need to understand the fundamental practice that makes them possible: the pause. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies your freedom and your power. But most people never access that space because they respond too quickly. Someone says something, you immediately reply. Someone provokes you, you immediately react. Someone asks a question, you immediately answer. This immediacy feels natural, but it's actually unconscious. You're not choosing your words. You're being controlled by the stimulus. You're a puppet responding to whatever strings get pulled. The Stoics understood that true power comes from introducing a pause, a deliberate gap between what happens and how you respond. And in that pause, you ask questions, not out loud, not to the other person, to yourself. Internal questions that determine whether speaking serves you. This practice seems simple. It's not. Because pausing before speaking requires going against every social instinct you have. It requires tolerating discomfort. It requires being okay with silence while you think. But this discomfort is the price of conscious speech, and conscious speech is the difference between words that build and words that destroy. Let's examine the 4 questions. Question 1. Is it true? The first filter every word must pass through. Is what I'm about to say actually true? Not, do I believe it's true? Not, did someone else say it's true? Not, does it feel true? Is it actually, verifiably, objectively true? When you ask, is it true, you catch yourself before speaking. You recognize that what you're about to say is assumption, interpretation, or speculation, not verified reality. And this recognition gives you a choice. Rephrase to speak only truth, or stay silent. How to apply this? When you're about to speak, pause. Ask yourself, do I actually know this is true, or am I assuming, interpreting, or speculating? If it's assumption, either verify it before speaking or phrase it as assumption. It seems to me. My interpretation is. I could be wrong, but. If it's gossip or rumor, don't speak it, period. You don't need to be the messenger of unverified information. If it's truth, proceed to question 2. Question 2. Is it necessary? The second filter. Is it necessary for me to say this? Not, is it true? We already established that. Not, would it be nice to say? Is it necessary? Most speech is unnecessary. We talk to fill silence. We speak to be heard. We comment to feel included. We explain to feel understood. We share opinions to feel relevant. But none of this is necessary. It's habitual, compulsive, performative. The Stoics understood that unnecessary speech is wasted energy, and wasted energy is wasted life. Every unnecessary word is time and attention you could have invested in something meaningful. But beyond waste, unnecessary speech often creates problems. You say something that didn't need to be said, and now you've complicated a situation that was fine. You give an unnecessary opinion, and now you're in an argument you didn't need to have. You make an unnecessary comment, and now you've hurt someone for no reason. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Most of what we say and do is not essential.
If you can eliminate it, you'll have more time and more tranquility. So ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary? Notice he says at every moment, not occasionally, every moment. Because most moments don't require speech. Most situations don't need your input. Most conversations don't benefit from your participation. When speech is necessary, to set or enforce boundaries, to express gratitude or appreciation that would otherwise go unknown, to share information others need that they don't have, to correct a harmful falsehood that will cause damage if left uncorrected, to defend someone who can't defend themselves, to fulfill a responsibility, teacher, parent, leader, etc. When speech is not necessary, to prove you're smart, to make sure people know your opinion, to fill uncomfortable silence, to compete for attention, to one-up someone else's story, to be included in a conversation you don't need to be in. Most of what we say falls into the second category, unnecessary, and recognizing this saves enormous energy and prevents countless problems. How to apply this? Before speaking, ask, what happens if I don't say this? Does anything bad occur? Does important information not get shared? Does necessary action not get taken? If the answer is nothing bad happens, the speech is unnecessary. Stay silent. Conserve your energy. Avoid potential problems. If it's necessary, proceed to question 3.
The third filter. Is it kind? This doesn't mean nice. It doesn't mean sugarcoating truth or avoiding necessary difficulty. It means, does this serve the well-being of the person I'm speaking to, or does it serve only my ego? Truth can be delivered kindly or cruelly. Necessary information can be shared compassionately or coldly. The question isn't whether to speak truth. We already established it's true and necessary. The question is how to speak it. Are you about to speak this way because it's genuinely helpful, or because you want to hurt, diminish, dominate, or feel superior by making them feel worse? Epictetus taught, first learn the meaning of what you say and then speak. Part of that meaning is understanding your own intention. Why are you saying this? What are you trying to accomplish? If your intention is to help, to enlighten, to improve the situation, that's kindness, even if the words are difficult to hear. But if your intention is to wound, to prove superiority, to punish, to make yourself feel better by making them feel worse, that's cruelty, even if the words are technically true. The kindness test. Before speaking something difficult, ask yourself, am I saying this for their benefit or mine? Will this help them grow or just satisfy my need to be right? Can I deliver this truth in a way that doesn't attack their dignity? If you're delivering difficult truth kindly, it looks like this. You're calm, not aggressive. You're specific about behavior, not attacking character. You're speaking from care, not contempt. You're offering the truth as information they can use, not as a weapon to hurt them with. If you're delivering truth cruelly, it looks like this. You're aggressive or condescending. You're attacking their character, not addressing specific behavior. You're speaking from superiority or revenge. You're using truth as a weapon to diminish them. Same truth, completely different delivery. One is kind, one is cruel. And the Stoics knew that cruel delivery often prevents truth from being received. The person gets so defensive about how you said it that they can't hear what you said. Kind delivery of difficult truth requires strength. It's much easier to just unload harshly, but harsh delivery serves your ego, not their growth. And the Stoics were committed to serving growth, not ego. How to apply this? Before speaking something difficult, pause. Ask, how can I say this in a way that preserves their dignity while delivering the truth? What tone, what words, what framing serves their understanding rather than my ego? Then speak from that place. If you can't find a kind way to say it, that's usually a sign that your motivation is wrong. Wait until you can speak kindly, or don't speak at all. If it passes the kindness test, proceed to question 4. Question 4. Is it timely? The fourth and final filter is now the right time to say this. You can have truth, necessity, and kindness all aligned and still destroy the impact by speaking at the wrong time. Timing is everything. The same words that heal when spoken at the right moment wound when spoken at the wrong moment. The same truth that enlightens when shared with proper timing confuses when shared prematurely. The Stoics understood that wisdom includes knowing not just what to say and how to say it, but when to say it. Wrong timing looks like giving feedback when someone is emotional and can't receive it, sharing information when someone isn't ready to hear it, speaking truth in a public setting that should be private, offering advice when someone needs empathy first, correcting someone in the middle of them doing something, discussing something serious when environmental conditions prevent real conversation. Even if what you say is true, necessary, and kind, if the timing is wrong, it won't land properly. At best, it will be ineffective. At worst, it will be counterproductive. Seneca wrote, "There is no advantage to speaking when no one is listening. And no one can truly listen when they're overwhelmed with emotion. They're distracted by environment. They're in a public setting where saving face matters more than hearing truth. They're not mentally or emotionally prepared for what you're about to share. They're in crisis mode and need support before information." Good timing considers emotional state. Are they calm enough to receive this, or do I need to wait until emotions settle? Environmental context. Is this private enough for this conversation, or do I need to wait for a better setting? Readiness. Have they asked for this information or feedback? Are they in a place where they can actually use it, or would I just be satisfying my need to share it? Receptivity. Have they indicated openness to this topic, or am I forcing something they're not ready for? Your own state. Am I calm and clear enough to deliver this well, or do I need to wait until I can speak from centered composure? Sometimes the most powerful use of these 4 questions is arriving at, this is true, necessary, and I can deliver it kindly, but now is not the time, and choosing to wait. Patience in speech is a form of power. The ability to know what needs to be said and still wait for the right moment to say it, that's mastery. How to apply this? Before speaking, especially before sharing something important, ask, is this the right time? Is there a better time? What conditions would make this more receivable? If now is not right, wait. Hold the truth. Don't let your discomfort with holding it pressure you into poor timing. If now is right, speak. Now let's see how these 4 questions work together in real situations. Scenario 1. You're in a meeting and someone shares an idea you think is flawed. Your impulse, immediately point out the flaw. But pause. Run through the questions. Is it true? Is there a genuine flaw in the logic? Yes, there's a genuine flaw in the logic. Is it necessary? Will this flaw cause real problems if not addressed? Or is it minor and the idea works despite the flaw? Let's say it's necessary. Is it kind? Can I point out the flaw without diminishing the person? Can I be curious rather than correcting? I'm wondering about X aspect. How would that work? Is it timely? Should I say this now in front of everyone, or would a private conversation be better? Is the person in a state to hear this? Depending on your answers, you might speak now, speak later, speak privately, or let it go entirely. Without these questions, you just blurt out, that won't work because, and create defensiveness. With these questions, you either improve the situation or wisely stay silent. Scenario 2. A friend is making a choice you think will hurt them. Your impulse, tell them they're making a mistake. But pause. Is it true? Do I know it will hurt them, or am I just worried it might? Am I certain, or am I projecting my values onto their situation? If you're certain, proceed. Is it necessary? Is this my business? Have they asked for input? Will I benefit from my perspective, or will I just damage our relationship by judging their choice? If it's your business, close friend, they've indicated openness to feedback, and the stakes are high enough. Is it kind? Can I share my concern without making them feel judged or stupid? Can I frame it as care, not criticism?
Is it timely? Are they in a place to hear this, or am I already committed and my input would just create stress? These questions might lead you to share your concern, or they might lead you to support them through their choice and be there for them regardless of outcome. Without the questions, you'd probably say something that sounds like judgment. They'd get defensive and your relationship would suffer. Scenario 3. Someone provokes you in conversation. Your impulse, defend yourself or attack back. But pause. Is it true? Is what I'm about to say in response actually true, or am I about to exaggerate or attack their character? Is it necessary? Does this provocation deserve response, or can I simply not engage? Usually, provocation doesn't need response. Stay silent. But let's say you decide response is necessary. Is it kind? Can I address the actual issue without attacking the person? Can I address behavior without assassinating character? Is it timely? Is now the right time, in this emotional state with these people watching, or should I address this later, in private, when we're both calmer? These questions often lead to strategic silence in the moment and private conversation later, or sometimes they lead to brief, calm response that doesn't escalate. Without the questions, you'd react, escalate, and create a bigger problem.
These 4 questions become powerful when they become automatic. When you don't have to consciously remember them, they just arise naturally before you speak. But building that automaticity takes practice. Here's how. Week 1. Focus on question 1 only. Every time you're about to speak, ask only, is it true? Don't worry about the other questions yet. Just practice catching yourself before speaking falsehoods, assumptions, exaggerations. You'll be shocked how much of what you are about to say doesn't pass this first filter. Week 2. Add question 2. Now you're asking, is it true? Is it necessary? You're filtering out both falsehoods and unnecessary truth. Your speech will decrease dramatically. You'll realize how much you were talking just to talk. Week 3. Add question 3. 3 filters now. True, necessary, kind. You're still speaking truth and necessity, but now you're calibrating how you deliver it. You'll notice your difficult conversations go better because you're delivering hard truths without attacking dignity. Week 4. Add all 4 filters. True, necessary, kind, timely. Now you're operating with full Stoic speech discipline. You speak rarely, but when you do speak, your words is powerful. True, necessary, kind, and timely. Everything else is silence, and that silence is more powerful than most people's words. This is mind armor, where speech is disciplined, where words are weapons wielded with precision, where silence is understood as the foundation of powerful speech. Ask the questions. Transform your words. Transform your life.